All right. So a very warm welcome to you, the ones who are attending live, as well as the ones who are going to be watching this as a recording. Today's topic is going to be about how do we actually become a paid life coach in 2024, which is today. And we're going to look at some current trends that I have seen as a coach in my industry, evolving from, certain years and now how it is blowing up and how it's going to be in the coming future. So I'm just going to share my screen and then you guys let me know when you guys can see it. Is my screen visible to you all? Okay. Yeah, I think it's visible. All right. So before I begin, just to let you know, I am a life coach and I help people become confident and anxiety free. And at present, I help people in three capacities. One is I help professionals become anxiety free and gain confidence. The major work that I do is childhood trauma and intergenerational trauma work. Second way I help people is I help coaches scale their business to whatever figures they want to. And the third way I'm going to be helping you specifically for people who are inside the Empowered Coach community is to help you transition into becoming a fully trained and certified life coach, right? So I'll be launching the training program in this June. And before that, my aim is for you to understand in depth what exactly life coaching is really about. And if you think this is something that actually feels like a calling to you, right? Only and only when you feel like you can take a decision should you go ahead, and actually become certified as a coach, right? So today's topic is going to be about becoming a paid life coach in 2024. Now, this is a live session for people who are inside my community called the Empowered Coach community. If you are someone who aspires to be a life coach or is currently a life coach and wants to gain an in-depth understanding of how do we really create a sustainable business that doesn't feel icky to us, that doesn't feel forced to us, then you're very welcome to come inside our community. You can simply DM me Empowered either in my WhatsApp if you're connected with me there or on my LinkedIn, and you will be added to the group. Okay. Now, the very first thing we are going to be looking at is the present, past, and the future of the coaching industry. Now, what was coaching really like in the past? Now, you must understand that coaching has been around for a while, okay? And it is specifically something that has been around for a while in the West, right? So in the US, UK, Europe. Now, the reason coaching has been around for a while in the West and has just come, in India, has just come in our country, is because coaching is, if you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? If you know that there is a pyramid, right? So there is basic needs, survival needs, and shelter needs, and this relationship needs, and the top of the pyramid is self-actualization, where people start really thinking about their personal growth. And the thing is that you can't really think about your personal growth. You can't really think about living your full potential if your survival is not taken care of. And because our country has had a very long history of going through, partition trauma, and we were looted, what our country suffered was that people did not have food to eat, right? People did not know where their life is going. People did not know whether they'll be able to eat or sleep under a good roof. So that was not the case in the West, right? Because the West did not go that under did not undergo that trauma. And that is why self-actualization, that part, kind of reached early in the West. Then it came in third world countries like India. So coaching has been around for a while. It is not a new phenomenon right now. The only thing is that West did it before, and the coaching is a very, very renowned profession there, because people there did not have to worry about survival, right? They did not have to worry about whether I'll have food to eat for 2 times or not, whether my government will be able to take care of me or not, whether I will have a roof over my head or not, right? Largely those countries have been abundant, right? But that was not the case with our country. And that is why now, when our country is finally coming out of that phase of survival, and we're thinking, right? We're thinking about our relationships, we're thinking about our careers. And more importantly, we're moving towards the top of the pyramid, where more and more people are becoming, conscious of where is my life really going. More and more people are becoming conscious of, I want to live at the fullest of my potential. And that is why coaching has come in our country now. Now, you must understand that coaching is a largely unregulated industry, specifically in our country, because as I said, it's very new, right? So there is no regulation body as such. So when I say regulation, I don't mean institutes like ICF and stuff like that. No, those are just certification institutes and they do nothing. What I mean is regulation industry where, the ethics of coaches are monitored, where, coaches undergo scrutiny as to the work that they're doing are ethical or not. So that is not there either here or in the West. So coaching largely is an unregulated industry. Now, the fact that coaching is an unregulated industry means that it is a level playing field for everyone, right? So in some ways, it's good, right? The bar of entry, as I mentioned, in one of the videos yesterday as well, is low. The bar of entry to entering into coaching field is very low. I mean, I have known people who have never run a business ever in their life calling themselves business coaches, right? So bar of entry is very low. You can call yourself a coach. It's not a big deal. Nobody, is going to find it out. But that also means that the bar of success is incredibly high. When you are in an unregulated industry, it means that there will be a lot of charlatans, there will be a lot of people who are making fool out of other people, and who are doing all sorts of sleazy marketing, and that icks people, right? So again, there is a pro and con of both here. One is, the pro is that because there are a lot of people who don't follow ethics and are just running behind, let's say, short-term gains, you stand out if you know what you're really, really doing, right? The con is that the bar of success is high because you have to be able to actually make a name for yourself for your skills, right? Now, coming back to the topic at hand, which is what is the future of coaching industry really like? Now, to understand that, first let's understand how coaching was actually conducted in India and what were people really doing. Now, what I have seen personally is that there was a lot of sleazy marketing, right? Sleazy marketing meaning cheap marketing, wherein you are just selling hollow dreams to people, where you're running these 99 rupees webinar, wherein you are making huge promises to people by promising them some hacks, by telling them that, if you just do this, things are going to change in your life, just using really, really big terms and nothing to show for it, right? It's because, as I said, coaching and course creation, all of this is still new in India. It means that it's still an untapped market, right? Which means that people came and people learned from a lot of Indian coaches themselves, and they have learned from coaches in the West, and they have applied things here. Some of them have done that ethically in the sense that they have actually delivered what they have promised. A lot of them have not. And because the awareness about coaching and what it is really like was very less, a lot of people who were just advisors, a lot of people who just learned something over Google and did not really get trained, started calling themselves coaches and started doing anything, right? And what happened as a result is that people became very skeptical about coaching, right? People became very icky about coaching because they started seeing that anybody and everyone, specifically a lot of coaches, would do cringy stuff, right? Cringy stuff in the sense they would do sleazy marketing, they would do cheap tactics, and they would just do anything and everything to just gain some short-term amount of money, right? So a lot of it just became about money. And again, one thing you must know is that because India is still a third world country, and I know that a lot of you watch my videos from multiple parts of country. Today I'm referring to India. Why? Because I come from there, and a lot of my clients are from there. And also, specifically, most of my audience is Indian. So I'm talking about that. Now, because India is a third world country, there is still a huge, portion of people who still look at, aspirational lifestyle as their goal. Now, what do I mean by this? They like when people promise them easy things with no work because they're already exhausted. And that's one of the scams that has been a part of coaching industry. And I just want to say it because it is true. Honestly, I've seen it. Is that where people are lied to that you have to do nothing. You have to do nothing. You just have to do this and that. And again, showing them a lot of aspirations, trying to peddle this dream lifestyle. And then when people actually go and do it, they realize that it's a big scam, right? So what used to happen was, in the past, there was a lot of selling hollow dreams, a lot of aspirational lifestyle, and basically trying to tell you that it's very, very easy to do things and you don't have to do anything. You just have to enroll into work with me, right? That was the kind of trend that was going on up until now. It is still there, but a good shift that we are seeing now is because of social media. Now, before, when social media was not very popular, there were a lot of, physical coaching spaces as well. And there the awareness level was less, because think about it, right? If you are coming to me to get coached, and you have absolutely no idea about my background, you have no idea about, what I have written in the past, you can't sense my energy, you haven't really spoken to other people, you haven't really seen things, then I can do anything, right? And you will buy from me. And after you've bought from me, you may realize that, oh my God, what have I done? Right? So what is happening now in the present is that people are more aware now. People are understanding that sleazy marketers are not actually coaches they need, right? There is a shift towards building meaningful relationships, right? Because again, coaching is a relationship. Coaching is a very deep and meaningful relationship between you and your client, specifically life coaches, right? So when you're a life coach, people are trusting you with a lot, right? They're trusting you with their stories, they're trusting you with their life, they're trusting you with a lot of the things that they have never shared with anyone. So it's a huge responsibility. And when that responsibility is not carried off, carried on well, it can lead to your business not doing well. Because you must understand one thing about business, which a lot of online coaches don't, is that it is run on your reputation, right? It is run sustainably. Business which you start and you do sleazy marketing and then you have to shut it down in 1 year, 2 year, is not really a business. It was a joke, right? So businesses are run sustainably, and businesses are built when you give real results to your clients, right? Where people actually trust you because they've seen results with you. So what is happening in the present is that there is a shift towards authentic marketing, where people are becoming more and more authentic in the marketing, where people are, people are showing real over fake promises, right? People are coming and telling you, at least a lot of them, if not all, a lot of them are coming and telling you that what is it that you really need to do to become a successful coach, right? So one thing that I have always done with all of my clients who were life coaches themselves is I told them very directly that we will make things easy for you, but not without putting in the work, right? It's honestly a very big, I think, I don't know how to call it, a joke or a scam or whatever, that when you believe that things will just happen if you do nothing, that's not how things work, right? There is, you make things easy when you're very aligned, but that alignment also requires inner work, right? So what is happening is that people are becoming more real about their marketing. People are sharing more real stories, and people are becoming more transparent, right? And more importantly, now clients also seek results, right? They don't seek just an aspirational lifestyle, they also seek results. Now there is a part of population, of course, which still runs behind glamour, which still runs behind fake numbers and yada yada. It is there. And one shift that I'm seeing right now is because social media has blown up a lot, because we have a lot of information on our hands. People are becoming more aware about the difference between what is being promised and what is being delivered, right? So people now are asking for results, and it's a good thing, because it helps us filter real people, real coaches, and the ones who are pretending to be one. And that's a very good shift, right? It holds the coaching industry to a higher standard, right? Which it should, right? Which it should, because as I said, it is an unregulated industry. So even though it is an unregulated industry, it is equal for all of us, still the bar of success is high, right? Not everyone who enters into the coaching industry actually makes a sustainable income, actually creates a sustainable business that doesn't burn themselves out, and that doesn't, result into doing cringy marketing that they don't like, right? Because again, as I said, it requires building a foundation. It requires actually learning how to do authentic business, right? Now, the future of the coaching industry is that we are going to move more towards authentic marketing. So you must understand what marketing really is, right? Marketing is nothing but telling people in 100 different ways on how you can help them. That is what marketing is. It is not fake promising. It is not painting a shiny picture. It is not trying to convince people. It is not trying to instill fear in them. It is not trying to lie to them. It is simply letting people know in 100 ways how you can help them. That is what marketing really is. So we are moving towards more authentic marketing. And again, it is a good shift. And why this shift actually came about is because there were so many sleazy marketers. There were so many cheap tips and tricks and, free trainings and whatever, hacks that people applied, that the, audience and your potential clients have become more aware, right? So they want authenticity. They want people who they want coaches who can understand them at a deeper level and not just give them a band-aid solution, right? And we are also moving towards something called a value-based business. Now, what do you mean by value-based business? Now, what tends to happen before when, all of this hack marketing and sleazy marketing and just, promising the sky and forcing people that do this only then you can succeed, when all of this stuff was going on, what happened was that a lot of life coaches who are very hard, who do heart centered work, who are passionate, who are driven by their passion, who do not like doing cringy stuff, what happened to them was they burnt out. Because over a period of time, when you're forced to do something you absolutely don't want to do, you start hating your own business. So what happened, a lot of life coaches who started the business were forced into doing, let's say, paid ads, were forced into doing cold DMing, were forced into doing that, do this training, do this, and yada yada. Because of this, a lot of people dropped, because they didn't understand that why am I doing this work when I'm forced to do something I don't want to do. And what is the difference between me pursuing my passion and then just go do a day job which I already did not like, right? So now we are moving towards a value-based business wherein people are designing business based on their value system. So I'll tell you something. When I worked before, one of the suggestions I got from someone was to cold DM people. And that is something that I'm extremely averse to. I do not like it. I don't like approaching people and telling them, oh, please work with me, or, I'm this, I'm offering this, and I don't do that. Whenever, whatever it is that I want to put out, I put it out and people reach out to me. And that is a belief that I've always had, right? And this is something that we'll discuss further as well in the later part of the video. But I have never ever reached out to people telling them that please come on a session with me, please book a call with me, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, or, trying to talk to them and trying to convince them to get on a clarity call with me. I've never done that. I have always had people approach me. I've always had people come to me, be it my one-on-one sessions, be it my master classes, my workshops, anything at all. I've never reached out to anyone. Neither do I have this thing that I nag people or I'm going to follow up with them 10 times. Absolutely not. The belief that I come from is that if someone wants to work with me, they will come to me. And that is the only belief I operate from, right? So my business is largely run by my values. And my value is that I do excellent work. And if someone is gravitated towards excellent work and not sleazy marketing and not fake promises and all of that, they will come to me. And those who are attracted to that, then they're simply not my clients, right? So that is a belief work that, we coaches have to do, right? That is a belief work we must do specifically when we want a thriving business. We must define what our values are. I always knew that my value is excellence. I cannot do half-hearted work. I cannot, do fake promises. I also cannot, bring fake positivity and just tell you that everything is hunky-dory without putting in the work, right? I also knew that I'm not going to run behind people. So even though a lot of people did tell me that, you should go cold DM people, you should do this and you should do that, I never did that. Never have I ever paid anyone to do my marketing. I write everything on my own. Everything I do in marketing is very original and very organic. And I've never felt stuck with it because my marketing has come from my body, right? You must understand that coaching is not like other businesses, right? Your coaching business literally comes from your own body, which means, because you must understand, right? When you're coaching from your brain and your body, right? It's not some external product. When you're doing a service-based business like coaching, specifically when you're serving people, you're serving through your brain and body. So when your brain and body is not aligned, it's not going to do anything, right? It doesn't matter how much money you pay to ads, it's not going to feel good to you. And from what I know, most passionate life coaches go into this profession and make it big are the ones who go into this because they want to do things their way. They don't want to, seek permission. They don't want to force themselves to do something, right? So you must understand that when you are, trying to build a life coaching business now in this era, the good thing is that you get to build a value-based business, a business that is done your way, a business that comes from your highest values, not from whatever, other people are saying. Now, second is delivering real results. So now we are also moving, like the coaching industry is also moving towards delivering results because people don't want just an aspirational lifestyle anymore. People start asking questions, right? They do ask that, how does it actually happen? And what are the results, that can come about? And that's again a good thing because it's becoming more results driven and not just, promising. And then building close communities and building relationship with your clients. So again, coaching is a relationship business. You simply, cannot just put marketing on someone's face and then, they will become your client. That just does not happen, right? And relationship building requires time and patience. And that is why one of the first things I ask people when they actually want to get into life coaching is, are you in it for the long game? Are you willing to play the long game? Are you in it for longer term? Can you do it when most people are not doing it? And the thing with coaching is that it may feel like there are a lot of coaches in the world. It may feel like there are a lot of coaches that are coming every single day. But let me tell you a secret, personally speaking, what I've observed. When you start asking this question to other people, and when you start observing that how many people are actually in it for the long game, how many people are playing the long game, you will find it's very, very less. Most people simply either run behind money and burn out. Most people don't want to actually invest in the right thing, which is themselves, because coaching is a brain-based profession. Coaching comes from your brain, does not come from external marketing, does not come from social media, does not come from anywhere, anything. It comes from your brain. So the biggest investment you must make is in your brain, because coaching is a brain-based profession. And most people don't do that. They run behind tactics. They run behind external things. They run behind people who they know are making fake promises, but they still get attracted to it because, again, they deep down feel insecure. And that is why in the very first video I did yesterday, I kept telling you one thing, and I will say that to you always, is your personal growth as a coach is going to determine every single thing. When you yourself are not secure, you will end up, buying from people who will ignite that insecurity or who prey on that insecurity, right? So now we have moved towards building relationship and building communities with people, right? Wherein the people who are working with you deeply trust you, right? And the thing is, the thing with business is that it is completely based on trust, right? When someone loses trust in you, they are not going to buy from you. And that is the truth of the matter. And when you are, when you are a coach and when you specifically want to charge high ticket, let's say you're charging, $3,000-$4,000 or upwards in that, then you must know that if you are not building relationships, it's not going to happen. Then you're going to have to sell, courses worth $30, $40, $50, and yada, right? So if you actually want to move towards a business, which is a one-person coaching business, when you want to charge high ticket, you have to invest in your brain. You have to have patience, and you must ask, am I willing to play a long game? That's the only question you need to ask yourself, because you will see that very few people, actually do that. But a lot of people either pivot or, simply change their direction or completely give up, right? Because they're in it for the short game, right? They just want short-term gains and, short-term results. And that's not how a good business works. Now, why is this shift really happening? Why are we moving towards sleazy marketing, from sleazy marketing to actually a value-based business where, we are building more and more relationship with our clients, and clients are becoming result-centric and value-centric rather than, simply buying a dream or simply buying aspirational lifestyle. Now, the reason is that social media gave a voice to everyone. Now, what do I mean by this? Earlier, when social media wasn't very accessible or affordable for everyone, when social media was, for the elite, it was dominated by some people. What used to happen was there was always a narrative that was being peddled, right, by some influencers. There was just this very strong narrative. But now that social media has become accessible to everyone, everyone has a voice, including your client, right? So when someone does not have a good experience, they're not shy to actually express it. And this is not something to be afraid of. This is something to rejoice, actually, because this means that only good work is going to be celebrated. And if good work is not happening, or if there is any kind of scam that's going on, you will get to know, right? So social media gave a voice to everyone, right? And that made, awareness, that brought in awareness at even a larger level, right? Then people got frustrated. And that is also a thing, that is something I've seen, wherein people got frustrated with coaches who were fake, who would promise them a lot of things, who were misleading, who would, promise this and then deliver nothing, or this. And because people got frustrated, people started becoming more cautious. So people started understanding that when I buy, right? And so to digress a little bit or to add something here, one more thing you must understand is that when someone is buying coaching from you, they are not buying coaching in itself. They're buying your energy, right? They are asking themselves that, do I trust this person? Do I believe that this person can actually lead me? Because coaching is nothing but leading, right? Coaching and leadership is an interchangeable word that has always been used. So coaching is nothing but leading, being able to lead, right? So people are not actually buying coaching from you. People want to be in your energy. People pay for your energy. People don't pay for, okay, this person is going to coach me. People pay for results, and yes, a part of it. But then again, a lot of people can promise results, right? More importantly, what people buy is your energy. When they are in your energy, they must feel that this is the only solution. This is the person I want to work with, right? And that is why now people have become more aware of that, right? They ask themselves that, is this someone I want to trust? Is this someone I want to be led by? Is this someone I can discuss my problems with, right? Then since more and more people have entered into the industry, now we are valuing quality over quantity, right? So it doesn't matter what promises you're making. People are people believe in quality more, and quality work sells for a very long period of time, right? So for example, if you're a coach and you do quality work, you don't have to consistently come up with new things. You don't have to consistently change things. You don't have to consistently come up with new programs or do something extraordinary. That happens because of two reasons. One, you're actually not doing quality work. Second, you actually don't believe in yourself or your clients, right? So quality is now valued much more than quantity. Because as I said, coaching is a relationship based profession. When you have a great relationship with your client, they will come back to you again and again and again. Now, this is something that I've explained. Because of all of this, people are simply more aware. And when you are aware, you make informed decisions. And it is a good thing. It means that you don't have to do things that does not align with you. It means that you don't have to practice strategies and marketing tactics that does not agree with you. Because ultimately, as I said, coaching is a brain and nervous system based profession. If you do something you don't like, if you find things icky, you will leave your business, and there will be a distance between what you're putting out and who you really are. And people always buy who you are, not what you're peddling outside. They will always buy who you are. They will always buy your energy, right? Now, uh, coaching continues to still be an untapped market, specifically in India. In the West, still it is tapped because people are still quite aware. Coaching is still an untapped market in India, which means that there is a lot of potential. A lot of potential in the sense that there is still a lot of people who need help. There is still a lot of, people who would love to learn from you. And more importantly, there are still very few good quality coaches. Are there a lot of coaches? Yeah, sure. But are they good quality? Are they delivering quality? That's not something that I have personally found. And I've been around for a while. So it continues to be an untapped market. So there is a lot of potential, both income wise and impact wise. But again, you must aspire and you must strive to build a sustainable business, not a business that goes, completely, what do you say? It goes haywire in a few months, in a year, because you have either, taken on a lot of debt, or you don't know what you're doing. You're running behind tactics and yada, yada, yada. Till this date, I've never invested anything in my marketing, ever. Everything in my marketing is organic. The reason is I've invested in my brain, right? I've gotten myself coached again and again. And even today, I'm in multiple coaching groups. The number one investment I've made in my business is my brain. And that is why I've never had to go and tell someone that you do it for me, right? Specifically, when you are a business owner in the beginning, right? When you've not reached like like a lot of revenue and stuff like that, then you must understand that going and paying someone for marketing is stupid, right? Specifically as a coach, because your coaching is also coming from your brain, marketing is not a big deal, right? So you don't really have to outsource it. Learn it how to do it, right? That's the best thing you can do for yourself. Even today, I can hire someone, but I don't want to, right? Because I'm willing to invest in my brain so that like my neuroplasticity is so much that I'm able to think in 100 different ways, right? And that is your biggest asset as a coach. As a coach, you must invest in your brain, because if you're not willing to do that, then you're not really a coach at all. Now, let's try to understand how do we really become a paid life coach in 2024. Now, why do I say paid? Because becoming a life coach is not a big deal. You can get certified from anywhere. It's not a big deal. But if you are a coach with no clients, then you're not really a coach, right? You're just someone with a certificate. So becoming a paid life coach requires three things. One is skill, second is marketing strategy, and third is your belief system. Because, as I said, coaching is a brain and nervous system based profession. If that is not aligned, your marketing strategy, your skill absolutely means nothing. So your skill matters 20%. Now, why? Because life coaching is not a hard skill based profession, it's more of an intuition based profession. And a lot of life coaches who do enter into this industry do have natural sense of intuition, do have a lot of empathy. So skill in reality is not really a big problem. Honestly, you can gain your coaching confidence if you, let's say, do 100 free calls. It's not a big deal. The skill matters 20% because skill is something that you develop over a period of time as well as it is more, coaching is more intuition based. Second is marketing strategy. It matters 30%. So it has more weightage than skill because honestly speaking, I know a lot of skilled life coaches, but I don't know a lot of good paid life coaches, right? Coaches who make sustainable income, coaches who are not struggling to get clients, right? So marketing strategy matters 30%, and 50% is your belief system. Because I've also known people who have great marketing strategy, but they don't really have clients. They don't really have clients because they don't believe in themselves. Either that, or they don't believe in their clients at all, or they don't believe in their business, right? So the belief is completely missing. And when you don't believe in your business, you will end up going here and there. So as I told you, right, one of the reasons why I'm able to show up in my business every single day, the reason is because I'm not doing anything that I don't like. But if I were to lack self-belief, right? If I were to not believe in my business, if I were to think, oh my God, the entire market is doing, 99 webinar, so let me also do that. If I were to do all that, then I will be lost as a coach because I hate that, right? I hate doing fake marketing. I hate making fake promises. But if I were to do that because somebody told me, oh, do this, and I lacked self-belief, then I will do it. And what is going to happen? Ultimately, I won't be able to continue my business and I will give up in the middle. Or I will blame, the another coach or market and client and whatever. That is what happens to a lot of people. See, sleazy marketing is also something that only attracts people who lack self-belief, not people who, have self-belief. I have had business coaches that, at least that's what they call themselves, reach out to me and I've asked them that. So they've told me that, what, we're going to, scale your business to $10,000-$20,000 and we'll make you book 200 appointments and all of that. And then I asked them, but you haven't asked me that I actually want that or not. And when I do ask them a few questions, it becomes very visible who's authentic and who's not, right? So you don't have to build a business you hate. You don't have to, apply tactics you don't like. I was clear about that. I had that self-belief. That is why I'm able to show up for my business. And as I told you, business is a long-term game. It's not strategies or tactics. It's how long can you stay in the game? And you can't stay long in the game if you hate what you're doing, right? So your belief system is 50% of what is going to determine your success. So I don't care how skilled you are. I don't care what marketing strategy you're employing. If you lack self-belief, then it's not going to go for long, right? Now, let's take a deeper look at all three of them. The very first thing is skill. Now, what do I mean by skill here as well? One is going in depth. Now, one thing that I have found in a lot of life coaches is that they tend to jump niches. So niches meaning one specific topic that you specialize in. They jump from one thing to another. They will help people with confidence one day. They will help people with self-love one day. They will help people with, let's say, health one day. They will help people with this one day, that one day. They change, right? They change every week or every month and yada yada. Is there something wrong with it? Not really. No, you can do it. But you must understand that if you want to be known, right? If you want to be the one person who pops up into, your client's head whenever they're facing a problem, you have to be consistent, right? You have to be consistent. And one of the things I have found why people are not consistent is because they think that the niche they're in is not profitable. Because again, they don't believe in themselves. They think that there is some magical niche out there which is profitable, which makes a lot of money, right? Stuff like that. And this is what happens to a lot of business coaches as well. They think that, teaching people about business is profitable. So they go in and they themselves are broke. And I know a lot of broke business coaches and it's very sad. But the point is that when you are, coaching someone about something, ensure that you go into depth. that you know in and out of that topic. Why in and out of that topic? Whenever someone comes to you, they should feel like this is someone who can solve my problem. And that is not going to happen if you cover surface area, right? You want to help people with this and you want to help people with that. So for example, I'll tell you, once I had someone who come to me and tell me that, you know what, Rianshi, I want to, scale my business. And I asked them, who are you serving? Like, what do you want to help people with? Then they told me that, you know what, everyone is my client and I want to help them with everything. And when I asked her more questions and I got more clarity, what I realized was that she has not studied in depth anything at all. She kept changing her topics. She kept jumping from one thing to another. She would watch one ad, one Instagram post, one LinkedIn post that this person is doing well. So she would go and, learn that topic. So what happens when you don't go in depth is that you're known for nothing, right? Somebody who does everything, somebody who's very generic, may not get known for any specific thing. It doesn't mean that it's bad to change your niche. Absolutely not. But what is the intention is something we need to ask. What is the intention you are changing? Right. So if you are coaching in a specific skill, go in depth. So for example, when I'm coaching around confidence, the reason why I did trauma work as well is because I found that when other people were coaching people around confidence, it was very surface level. And I realized that one of the very biggest reasons people could not get confidence was because there was a lot of trauma involved. So I went and I studied that. So now when people come to me for confidence, it has never happened that I cannot answer their question, right? So you must ensure that you go in depth, that if someone is coming to you, you actually are the only solution they need. Then second is solving one problem in a complete cycle. Now, what do I mean by this? So this is again an extension of the very first topic. When you don't, study something in depth, specifically one topic that you care about the most, or something you really want to help people with, what tends to happen is that, let's say that someone comes to me and tells me that, you know what, Rianshi, I have, this problem that I'm always underconfident. And let's say I ask some questions and I realized that the reason that they're underconfident is because they lack self-love. And let's say that I have never really, understood the connection of confidence and self-love in depth. And I have only parroted something I've read from a book. And I just keep telling them that, oh, you know what, try this strategy, try this. What is going to happen? My client is going to lose trust in me. My client is going to feel confused, and my client is going to feel what the hell is going on, right? So whenever you are researching on a topic, whenever you're coaching about a topic, make sure that you understand its depth and don't just, cover surface level waters, and don't just, touch everything and be like, yeah, come to me with everything. It doesn't work that way. You actually don't need everyone, and not everyone is your client. I personally have never felt that every single person who's my LinkedIn follower, or even people in my community, are my clients. I've never believed that. And I don't think I'm for everyone. I don't think I'm for people who are looking for quick hacks. I don't think I'm for people who don't want to invest in themselves. I don't think I'm for people who are afraid of investing in themselves. Right. So I've always known that about myself. So I never ever think that I will reach out to everyone or everyone is my client. Right. So that happens when you understand yourself as a coach very deeply. You understand what exactly do you want to help with, which means you also develop your skill in depth. Now let's come to the second part, which is the marketing strategy. Now, what do I mean by this? The very first answer, you need about your marketing strategy is, what problem are you solving? How exactly are you solving it? And who are you solving it for? And please don't tell me that you're solving it for everyone. Please don't tell me you want to empower 5 million people by 2030. Don't ever do that. It just sounds very, what do you call it? Icky. And honestly, in a way, icky, not in the sense that it's not valid. It just means that you're trying to say something that's very vague. And the more specific you become with your client, the more easily you speak to people, the more easily they will be able to relate with you, resonate with you, and will actually buy from you, right? So the very first question you must ask yourself is, what problem am I solving? How exactly am I solving it? And who am I solving it for? The second is knowing your ideal client inside out. So if I were to ask you, who is your ideal client? What are the qualities of this person? What would you tell me? For example, as I told you, that my ideal client is someone who's not afraid to invest in themselves. My ideal client is someone who does not like to delay things. My ideal client is someone who puts growth above anything, right? And they're not afraid to, overcome their fears. They don't delay things in their life, and they want to work with me they pay and they get in. That's what my ideal client is. My ideal client is not someone who's afraid. My ideal client is not someone who constantly doubts things. My ideal client is not someone who does not put in the work, right? So I know that these are the people who get attracted to my energy. So I never question why someone is not buying from me. I just know that at that point of time, they're just not the right fit for me, right? So I don't go chasing people. I don't ask them 1,000 times, oh my God, how are you doing? Why have you not bought from me and stuff like that. So that happens when you become, one, more clear with who your ideal client is. Second, you actually believe in yourself as a coach, right? That, as I told you before as well, is the most important thing. Then third, and this is where actual marketing is creating content that's irresistible. What is irresistible? Irresistible does not mean that you're adding fancy things or anything like that. Irresistible is that when your ideal client is reading you, they feel like they don't want to stop scrolling. They feel that this person exactly knows what I'm talking about. This person understands my problem in depth, and this person knows how to solve my problem. That's creating content that's irresistible. Now, again, this is something that will come from your brain, not from ChatGPT, not from copying something and yada yada. Absolutely not. Coaching is a brain-based profession. So if you don't have that depth, get coached. Okay, get a coach for yourself, invest in yourself, and creating content should be the easiest thing should come for you, right? Because it is nothing but translating your ideas and your thinking into words, right? So content creation is not hard. It's incredibly easy. It is only hard for people who haven't gotten themselves coached enough, who haven't gotten clarity about who they really are and what their business is, right? Creating content is not a hard task. It's a very easy task because it's nothing but putting your thoughts, the clarity of your thoughts onto the screen, onto the paper, right? And again, a very important part is using a strategy that appeals to you, which means that even if someone who's a billionaire comes and tell you that, you should do this, but if you feel that this is something that does not align with me, you should be able to say no to that. You should be able to say that this is something that I don't like. And that's the thing about business. Your business is like your baby, right? When you force your business to, inculcate things that you know that is, against your value system, you don't really like, then what is happening is that you're creating a distance between your business and you, right? And coaching is a profession which literally comes from you. So when there is a distance between you and your business, it means that there is a distance between you and your authentic self. And you cannot coach if you yourself are lost, right? So it doesn't matter whoever comes and gives you any kind of fancy strategy, you should be able to say no if it does not align with you, right? That will again happen when you have a high level of self-belief and self-confidence in yourself as a coach, right? And the last part, which is the most important part, is your belief system. So a few things to ask yourself. So this is for people who are actually coaches right now, but even, if you're someone who's, undergoing training or maybe going to go training, then you can ask this yourself. What do you think and feel about your business? What are the feelings that come up when you think about your business? Is it something that you feel excited by? Is it something that, creates a lot of stress? Is it something that you hate? Is it something that creates a lot of tightness that, oh my God, I don't want to think about it? Or is it something you keep delaying and putting in the back burner? That, you know what, one day I will do it. One day, I will have the money to invest in myself. I will have the time to invest in myself and I'm going to do it then, right? So what do you feel when you think about your business? Because business is like play, right? Business is nothing but going into the playground and doing whatever the hell you want. And if business is starting to feel very, tight for you, specifically as a life coach, specifically as a solopreneur, then you must know that there is a misalignment that's happening. Because play feels easy, play feels exciting, right? But if it is a lot of tightness, it means that you're misaligned. You haven't really worked on yourself yet. Then second and the most important part is your money mindset. So the one thing you must know about money is that it has nothing to do with, what you charge, to be very honest. People pay you when they trust you. People pay you when they feel that you can solve their problem. So no matter whatever magical number you say, it's not going to, result into anything apart from the fact the weightage you put on it. So if you make your business just about money, you will also end up attracting people who will never want to pay you, or who will always, ask for discounts, or who will always, do some sort of bargaining, or who will always have hesitation in paying you. But if you are someone who makes a business about the service you're providing, when you're sure of the value you're delivering, you will attract people who are sure about investing in you. Money will not be something that will be a problem. And again, this doesn't mean that you're attracting some rich people or anything of that sort. I have had people who have paid me in installments. I have had people who have, taken debt to pay me to work with me and have created 10 times more money than that. All of that because I've never made money a thing. Whenever people tell me that Yanshi, at present I don't have the finances to work with you, I always tell them that it's fine, go create it. I'm still here, I believe in you, and I know you can create it. I talk to them in a very neutral way because I don't make money an issue. I don't think money is something that people should consider when they're working with me, because I don't do that. I personally have never looked at that. So when you make your business about the quality of the service you offer, you will attract the right people in your energy. When you make it about money, and again, this usually happens to coaches who don't invest in themselves. Because here's the thing, your how much you charge is based on your nervous system capacity. And when you are, very stingy, when you don't want to pay, $100 or $200, or you just don't want to pay anyone, you don't want to pay to actually invest in yourself, when you start charging high, you will fear the same type of people because you are a client like that yourself, right? When you are someone who constantly bargains, when you are someone who doesn't invest in yourself, you're going to be afraid that you will get the same kind of people, and you will, right? So this often happens to coaches who are afraid of investing in themselves. They are afraid of getting the same clients because they are the client that they are afraid of, right? They are the ones who never invest in themselves. They are the ones who delay. So often see that when you are afraid of money, you will also attract people like that in your energy who are afraid of investing in you. When you stop making money an issue, you will start attracting people who will not think money is an issue. They will create money in their life to work with you, right? So your money mindset and what exactly you think and feel about money also matters. And similarly, what are your thoughts and feelings about your clients? So for example, one thing that I always tell anyone who enters my energy is that I don't think you're a victim. I don't think you're helpless. And I'm not going to buy into the stories that you're a victim. And because of that, every single person that I've worked with walked out after working with me as an empowered person. They don't think that they're a victim anymore. So I say that no matter, even if my client is breaking down in front of me, I look at them in their eyes and I tell them, I believe in you. And I really do. I don't think you're a victim, right? So what are your thoughts and feelings about your clients? A lot of times what coaches do is that they have very bad feelings and thoughts about their own clients. They start disliking their own clients. They start to think, oh my God, this client doesn't want to pay me, or this client is doing this client is doing that. Again, this is you projecting your unhealed parts of you. When you are afraid of charging, you will charge very less. When you charge very less, you will attract those kind of people who don't want to pay you, right? So this constant cycle of anxiety goes on, right? One thing I will tell you is that when you charge high ticket, or when I say high ticket, it can mean anything for you. When you charge a desired price that you want to, you will feel relaxed in yourself, and the kind of clients you will get will also be high quality. But this means that you first have to be willing to invest in yourself. I am not worried about, people saying that, okay, Rianshi, I don't have the money right now. Is because that is not something that I have considered when I invested in myself. Whenever I wanted something, I told my coaches that give me a month, I will come back to you, and I want to do this. And I did it. That's the energy I go with my clients too. I tell them that if you cannot, or if you don't have the amount right now and you don't want to create it as well, then take your time. You know, you want to borrow from anywhere you can, you want to get it from anywhere, you want to create it in your life, whatever it is that you want to do, go do that. That's not an issue for me. I don't give discounts, I don't do bargaining, and neither do I feel sorry for what I charge, right? Because it's not about money for me. So how you think about your clients, how you feel about your clients is also going to ensure the kind of clients you are attracting in your energy. When you somewhere have not worked on yourself, you will attract the same type of clients who will literally manifest, your fears in them. Which means that when you are afraid of, let's say, oh my God, I'm going to run out of money, you will attract people like that. When you are afraid that no one will pay me, you will attract people who will not pay you, right? So whatever it is that you think and feel about your clients, it's going to get reflected. Which extends to the last thing, which is your own fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs. So as I told you, coaching is a very brain-based profession, right? So for example, let's say that I am selling vegetables. I can feel very sad, but I will still charge the same for my vegetables. That's not the case with life coaches. When they feel bad about themselves, when their confidence is going down, they start to charge less. They start to do sleazy marketing. They become very insecure. They start to do things they don't want to do. They stop showing up, right? They stop showing up for their clients. Their coaching efficiency goes down. That is what I mean, that your your coaching abilities comes from your brain and your nervous system, right? So your own fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs is going to determine your impact and your income as a coach, right? So that is why no matter what you do, the biggest investment and the most important investment you need to make is in your brain, because that is what life coaching is about. I'm not talking about any other business here. I don't care about that. I'm talking about life coaching, right? It comes from your nervous system, comes from your feelings, comes from your brain, right? Okay, so that is it for today. I'm open to answering any questions you guys may have. So you can either type down in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and ask your questions. I've allowed you guys to unmute.
Hi, Rianchi.
Hi, Jean. How are you doing?
Good, good. Little early here. What was the very last thing that you said? Do you remember?
I didn't get you. Can you come again, please?
What was the very last thing that you said?
That the most important investment you make is in yourself. That?
The coaching comes from your nervous
Yeah.
system.
Your nervous system and your brain, yes.
Okay. I thought there was something else you said with that.
So I
But-
said that, your like how you coach or the kind of coach you are is determined by how you're actually thinking and feeling about yourself. Because when it comes to specifically a life coaching business, it is not separate from you, right? Coaching is literally coming from your brain. So when you yourself lack confidence or you are confused or you lack clarity, it's going to get reflected in your business. Like literally, it will be in your content, in the way you approach things, in the way you make your offers and other things. So that is why I meant that the most important thing to invest on is your brain. You don't need to invest in anything specifically as a life coach.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Welcome. Is psychology knowledge a prerequisite? Okay. So I think you're trying to ask is that are you supposed to know psychology? So psychology is a very vast subject, right? When you say life coaching is a broad term, but there are skills in it. So for example, you have to be trained as a life coach to actually practice life coaching. So life coaching is not advising, mentoring, as we discussed yesterday. You have to be certified and you actually have to know how to help a client, right? And that is something you do. One is, yes, through different tools that you learn when you get certified. Second is you learn how to apply those tools in real life situations. So if you're asking, do I need a degree in psychology? No, but do I actually need to know, and like, do I actually need to know how to help my client? Then yes. So for example, if someone comes to me and tells me that, Priyanshi, I'm underconfident, can you help me? How am I going to help them? Right? That is a question, no? So that how am I going to help them is something that I'm going to do through different things I've learned, the trauma work that I've learned, the mindset coaching that I know, the different experiences that I have, right? So is psychology a prerequisite? No. Do you have to be certified and actually trained to be a life coach? Yes, because if not, then how will you actually help someone, right? Then it'll just be advising, mentoring, or just saying something, from here and there. Is there any other question that you guys have?
Yes, I have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, like when you talked about, the skill part, going in depth, understanding the complete cycle. So I quite resonate with that. And I mean, I understand that logically, but like as a coach, like I want to help people build resilience. Right now, I have went through some experiences where I have learned uh to become like I have become more resilient. I have developed that as a skill. Yes, I have gone through that, but I do not understand it as a complete cycle, maybe, or I basically where I'm lacking is I feel that there is something that I don't know. I really don't know how to help them with that, or what exactly am I going to um like saying as a coach, I want to help you develop resilience. It does not really sound complete to me. So what would you suggest, like, how can I go forward with that?
So why do you want to help people build resilience? Can you answer me that?
Yeah, I believe that it is a very important skill in today's fast world, wherein, we
Is it important
get,
to you?
yes.
Okay. Can you tell me why did it become important to you?
Early, before understanding those nuances about that skill, I used to spend a lot of time and energy into every situation, adverse situation that I faced, and which has resulted into, very much, it has affected my personality as a person. So I've realized that, there are certain boundaries that you need to put into, and whenever anything adverse comes up, you need to think about it, and a lot of stages in that. So that's why I feel that, it really helps in keeping you sane. And
And if you
yeah,
would not have developed resilience, what would have happened?
I would have taken a lot of time to reach where I am today.
Hmm.
I would have wasted a lot of energy, time, money. I don't know. I'm not thinking about it from that point of view. But yes, energy and time definitely. And in that time and loss of energy, I would have faced a lot of hardships emotionally, which would have an impact on me as a person, a deep impact. Yes.
So whenever we are, telling someone that, I help you build this, we don't directly go on how to do this. We actually look at the entire experience of why is it actually important, and why is it actually important is going to come from your own experience. Because as a
Mm.
coach, the whatever your dominant vibration and your emotion has been all your life, that is the problem you need to help other people solve. Because that is something that you will have expertise in that nobody else will. So, for instance, I help people with confidence because I have been bullied when I was young. So, I have felt what it feels like to be powerless. I have felt what it feels like to feel small. I have felt what it feels like to question yourself, right? Even when you have no answer why. So, can I help someone build self love? Yes, to a point, but I have not struggled with self love a lot. What I have struggled with is self confidence, right? So, when you are promising the end result to someone, your question should be not that how do I help someone develop this. Your question is should be that why exactly is it important, and if I have solved this problem for myself, in what ways have I solved it? If I would not have solved it, what would have happened? And why did this thing become extremely important for me, right? So your ideal client in the beginning is you. So you must ask yourself that if I were 5 steps back, what did I need to really hear? What did I need to hear so that I would have understood that resilience is what I'm lacking. So that is something you should think over.
Okay. Okay. That helps to start with. Yes. Thanks.
Is there any other question you guys have? Okay, so I guess not. So if you don't know, I am coming up with a life coach training and certification program in June. So if you would like to come and join and actually get trained under me and learn how to be a life coach and complete your hours and everything else, then you can come in, and I will be launching it in June, and I will be announcing it in the Empowered Coach community. So if you stay in the group, you will be able to see it. And until then, come to these sessions so that you actually understand the basic of life coaching and what you really could require. Because before you commit to becoming a coach, I want you to understand whether you are ready for it. I'm not saying are you qualified for it, because nobody's born qualified. What I want from you is commitment, if at least you're working with me, right? So I will be doing multiple sessions, over a period of, next month as well. So come up, educate yourself, and then make an informed decision. Jean, did you want to say something? I think you unmuted yourself for a moment.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I really appreciated that previous question. Because I think I deal with that too. Just, I feel like maybe I need something more, and yet I have plenty of knowledge and plenty of experience and, all of that. And I just have that feeling that, I'm gonna need to have something else, or know something different or something more. And, it's probably that belief that what I have is not enough.
Every coach goes through that. And that is why I emphasize it so much, that your belief in yourself is the most important thing. Skill, marketing strategy, all of this stuff, it's not a big deal, to be very frank. And that is why one of the things that my focus is on, even in the training program right now, is not just to help people, learn the skill and yada yada. It's not a big deal. It is to build that muscle inside of you to believe in yourself, right? We as coaches tend to forget that people face the same problems. It's not like their problems are changing, right? So you must know that just because you've written or coached something about 100 times, that people's problems will not be the same. They still continue to be the same, right? So your self-belief in yourself and your personal growth, that is why is extremely important. Everything else is just a result of that. All right. So thank you so much for joining, guys. I will see you next week for next sessions. I will be announcing the topics again in the community itself. And for those who are watching this as a recording, if you guys would like to join in the community again, you can just reach out to me on LinkedIn, and you can just DM me Empowered, and I will, add you to the community. Bye-bye.